Hello, everybody. Hi, dear love. How are you? Thank you, everybody, for coming. And more people will probably come on in soon, so I'm gonna just give it a little bit and let other people come in before I start really getting into today's topic. Hello, Edward. How are you? So, and I want to give an update. I did not lose my game. I got it back. So that's a good thing. So I can finish my series. Yay! So, okay. So let me pull up the comments. Hi, we made it, Sylvia. How are you? Hi, Taylor. Oh, now all the comments are coming in. Okay. Yeah, so at first, StreamYard is slow with the comments. So I have the comments on my tablet as well to be able to see everybody. So I think I said hi to everybody, didn't I? Oh, hi, boss lady Denise. How are you today? Okay. So I thought today we can talk about disabilities with transportation. So even though we do have transportation for disabilities, it is not as good as it could be. So, and what I mean by that is, because I don't know if anybody else lives in Maryland that's in the chat, but in Maryland, we have what they call mobility. And what mobility is, it's a transportation that is run, it used to be run by the city, but now I heard it's privately owned, so I don't know who does who owns it now, but it used to be owned by the city, and it's not the best. I try to be grateful for what we do have. So I don't want people to think that I'm not being grateful by having this discussion. But at the same time, we can also improve. And what I think they need to improve on is just the overall service. So, like, I will give you an example. So, if you're able-bodied, in other words, walking, you can call a cab, like right now, and it will more than likely be to your house in like 15 minutes. Maybe even less than that. But when you're in a wheelchair, we always have to call a day before. So, and yeah, I understand, like, well, they are picking me up, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make, It's like if a walking person can get a cab the same day, we're people too. So we should get the same service. It's not like, I don't think I'm asking for too much just to be wanted to treat it fairly, but I do think that, we should be treated fairly. Yeah. Yeah, everybody please remember to thumbs up the live. I'm gonna try to read the comments also. And I'm sorry if I missed some. I'm gonna try to get to everybody. But we're talking about a serious topic. So I might not be able to read everyone's comments. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why do we have to call the day before to get a ride? Because I'm just thinking, like, what if, it's an emergency today? Like, say, for instance, my friend or family went to the hospital today. I would not be able to get a ride because I have to call 24 hours in advance. So, to me, it just doesn't seem like it was fair, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I think it needs to be known that, we need better service. No one's gonna know if no one speaks up. And I want to speak for the ones that can speak. So it's not possible. No, it's, see, okay, Mary Loud, this what happened. It is a service that I can call to get a ride today, but the only problem is it's a taxi service that, first of all, only has 3 wheelchair vans, but they only have 2 drivers to drive those wheelchair vans. So I use the taxi service to go to a religious function one day, me and my grandmother, and we had to, first they had to take me because the vans that they have do not take 2 wheelchairs. So first they took me to the place, then they came back and took my grandmother. But then when it was time to go back home, they didn't come back to get us. So we literally had to get like 3 guys just to lift my wheelchair, because my wheelchair is not light. My wheelchair is 300 something pounds. It's not the easiest thing to lift up and put in somebody's car. Plus, my wheelchair can't fold up. So, they had to get these men, like, we had to get like 5 men to literally, like, lift my wheelchair and put it on my dad's truck. And then my dad had to pick me up and put me in his truck and then drive home. And I'm thankful that I got home. But the fact of it is, we shouldn't have had to go through that because they have a service for wheelchairs. So they need to be more dependable. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to offer a service for wheelchairs, then you need to be dependable. Because we can't just get out our wheelchair and get in somebody's car, you know? So, you need to be dependable if you're going to offer a service like that. Alright, let me go back up the comments. Okay. Yeah, I never, with the college tailors, I don't know how our colleges is because I never went to college. Yeah, it is a struggle, Deemer. It's really a struggle. Like, and that's why I am trying to have more conversations so that way we can get the ball rolling. Like right now, I live in Maryland and they're thinking about changing the way the buses work. But the only thing is, are they going to change it for the better? That's the thing. Like, are you change? Cause see, I don't think they changed it for the better, and I'm gonna give you my opinion because they want to change it because nobody has been riding the buses a lot lately. But it's Corona. Nobody is riding the buses because we've been on lockdown. So you can't go by the past couple of months because we've been on lockdown. So I don't understand how they're going by the last couple of months. It makes no sense. Like, if this was any normal year, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe some of the buses need to be changed. But it's Corona, guys. Like, really, you gonna change the bus because we're not using the buses? But it's like you put us to a lockdown, so we can't use the bus. So it makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah, see, Belize, yeah, if it's an emergency, we still can't get a ride, unfortunately. And I have tried, like, but we can't get a ride. Yeah. And see, okay, so Roller Slots knows too because she's in a wheelchair. Also, flying is hard when you're in a wheelchair. So let me explain what happens. So when you're in a wheelchair, hi Central Circle, how are you? Thank you for coming. So when you're in a wheelchair and you try to fly, they make you transfer to this little seat. And I mean it's a little seat. Like when I mean it's a little seat, you can barely get half your body on. It's that little. Because what happens is they need a wheelchair that can get in between the aisles of the plane, and so the wheelchair has to be small. But then once you get on that wheelchair, You have to get on the plane and then transfer again to the plane seats. Now, I understand that everybody, understands what we go through because it's different from when you're walking, but it's hard for us to transfer. I know me, it's hard for me to transfer to certain chairs. I can transfer to my bed pretty okay, and maybe to a manual pushable wheelchair, but to try to transfer into a plane seat, and then the plane that I went on, it was about 2 or 3 years ago. The seat armrest didn't move, so it wasn't like I could just slide over. I had to literally try to stand up over the armrest of the seat and then sit on the seat. And that's a lot harder than having a seat with an arm raised up. So, yeah. And that's why I'm let's have this conversation because this needs to be said. I can't believe, what is the FTC? If you can let me know what that is, because I don't know exactly what the FTC is. So if somebody could let me know what that is, please. Thank you. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so Taylor, we don't have a van anymore. We used to have a van. Our van was 20 years old. And vehicles, after a while, they just break down. And we had ours for 20 years. And it just got to the point where it was too much money to put into it. You know what I mean? So my dad just ended up giving it out because it was just too much money to try to fix it. Then it would have been cheaper to buy a new one. But we haven't been able to get a new one because unfortunately, I don't know if this is every state, but in my state, they will not help you get the actual van. They will help you after you get the van to put the ramp and the wheelchair hookup in, but they will not help you get the actual van. So that's what we are having a problem with right now. Oh, you're welcome, just Teresa. That's why I'm having this conversation because I want people to be educated and hopefully get to the higher ups one day and they'll really think about changing the transportation soon. Yeah, okay, so at work, yeah, they have that here too. But the problem with that is I live in the county, so we don't have a lot of buses go through here. We only have one bus come through here, and that takes you to one mall. Now, I can get on the light rail, but then you come into the problem of, trying to get a light rail. Then you have to figure out what bus to take to get to wherever you're trying to get to. And for me, like, I guess that you could say I get anxious, like when I go to places I don't know, because I'm scared I'm gonna get lost. So I would literally have sometimes panic attacks. And like if I'm lost, I don't know where I'm at, I would literally just sit there like can't breathe because I don't know where I am. I don't know who to ask sometimes because some people can be really mean. Even the bus drivers. Like I had bus drivers yell at me just for asking them where do they go. Because I might not know the area. So I would ask the bus drivers, do you go to a certain place? And they would literally yell at us and be like, look at the sign. And I'm like, I see the sign, but I don't know which way you're going. So that's why I don't like to take too many different buses because if I don't know exactly where I'm going, I'm scared to ask other people for directions because I don't know how they're gonna act. Okay, let me see. Okay, I wish I did have a husband to drive me roller slide. You did better than I am. Let's see. Alright. Let me see what else. Okay, I think I'm missing some comments. I'm trying to make sure I get to all y'all questions. So if I don't get to your question, just put it in there again. Because I might not have seen it. And I want to be able to answer, everyone's questions that have questions. Yeah, see, it did because now they're changing the whole public transportation. They're saying it will take effect next summer because people are not riding the bus. But I'm like, once this corona and stuff is gone, people are going to ride the buses like they used to ride the buses. So I don't think they should just take this year and be like, oh, we have to change the whole system, because you don't know how that's going to affect people trying to go to work, people who might not have enough money to get a car that depend on public transportation. Like, I'm not just speaking for disabled ones because walking people take public transportation. And you might mess them up for getting to their job, for, getting to, like, if they have doctor's appointments or wherever they have to go. You're messing everyone up. So, and I wish that they wasn't changing the things because I really do think it's gonna mess up, more people in the end. Yeah, it's very inconvenient. And see, the thing is, politicians do not use public transportation. So I don't think they should be the ones to say this bus should go here, that bus should go there. Like I heard that the people that make the bus routes here don't even live in Maryland. So if you don't live in Maryland, how are you making a bus route? for people that live in Maryland. You don't know like what the traffic is like. You don't know what the hot spots are. You don't know none of that because you don't live here. So I don't understand how they can let people from other states make a bus route for a state they don't live in. So it's kind of annoying to they're making changes that are just can even like they literally just changed the bus route maybe not even I would say 3 or 4 years ago. Everybody complain, I'm not lying. Like people were on the news talking about how it used to take them a half an hour to go to work. Now it takes them an hour after they changed the buses like 4 years ago. So now you're going to change them again and they're getting rid of some buses. So now the people that use the buses that you're getting rid of are going to be affected. They're not going to be able to get to work. They're not going to be able to get to the doctor. They're not going to be able to get to their family or wherever they want to get to. So you're just inconveniencing other people. Okay, so the Federal Trade Commission, okay. I have to look that up and see what their number or address is so I can write to them. Let's see. In 1999 is different. Yeah, I think ours was like 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that. And it just broke down finally. It just died. Had to bury in the backyard, it just died. So yeah, we're trying to get a new van, but because my grandmother's in a wheelchair too, we have to get a van that can hold 2 wheelchairs. So unfortunately, we can't find a program that helps with the actual buying of the van, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we ever had an SUV. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I was looking into that because I do think it's a lot of changes that need to be made, especially with public transportation. Like I used to go to the airport for my congregation to do volunteer work. And even then, like they would have, cause I live close to where the light rail is. If you don't know what the light rail is, it's just a train that goes to certain parts of Maryland. But yeah, I live close to the light rail. And it doesn't take me that long for the light rail to get to the airport. So I used to take that to the airport. And even that, like, it was so many problems. Like one time, for some reason I will never understand, the driver knew that where the wheelchair lift was, it was broke. So if you knew it was broke, why take the train out the lot? Like it had to be broke when you got on there. You're supposed to inspect the train before you leave the wherever they get the trains, but yet you still left. So you inconveniencing me because you didn't do your job. Like that's your job to inspect the train before you leave the station. So that was very annoying. And like one year I actually got stuck on the train. So with the light rail, they only have one or two doors that a wheelchair can get out of. But in order to get out of the doors, they have to line the door up with the ramp. So one summer, it was really hot, like over 100 degrees, and I don't know if the light rail overheated or if it was just, I don't know exactly why, but the light rail broke down. And because it broke down in a spot where the door wasn't lined up to the ramp, I was the only one stuck on there. They don't have any emergency exit plan for wheelchair passengers. And that's dangerous. Like, sorry, stuck with up. So, yeah, it's really dangerous because it was like 100 degrees. And, like, we're sitting, I'm the only one stuck with it because everybody else can walk. They can go down the steps. I can't. So I was literally stuck on there for almost 2 hours. And this was in the heat. The light rail broke down, which means the air was broke too, because that whole car was broke down. Now it was a good thing I had some cold water because I could have got heat stroke. And I would have been stuck on there having heat stroke because there was no way to get me off. Like, it just steps. So, that's why I wanted to write a letter to the governor or somebody. Like, I didn't know exactly who to contact, but I'm gonna try the FTC that y'all are talking about. But yeah, I could have got heat stroke. Like, it could have been really bad. So, I would think about writing a letter because that was too. Like, I did write a letter to the governor, actually. I did do that. But nothing happened. So, unfortunately, he didn't do anything. And I don't think that was right. Because you're talking about somebody's life. So it's like no one really cares until it's one of their family members. Like, I'm pretty sure if it was one of the governor's family members, that would have been dealt with a long time ago. But because it wasn't, he didn't really care. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I'm having this conversation, Rachel, because I want people to realize, things need to be changed. And it's time for us to start speaking out. And it's time for us to, get some voices in here. I don't love rolling the slides, but they will not help us get the van. They said the only thing they can help us do is after they get the van, they will help us put the ramp and like the wheelchair hookup in. But that's all they will help us do. Yeah, boss lady, it's really sad. It really gets on my nerves because it's like it's. I feel like we get the most like I don't know what's the word. Need a good word. We get the most not like people not caring because they don't know what it's like to be in a wheelchair. They don't know, what we go through each day, trying to just live life. Yeah. So that's why I'm hoping that maybe one day my channel will get the attention of the news or something, because I do feel like once the media gets your attention, it will speed up things. Cause I noticed with the black movement, once the media got it, now we got cops with cameras. Now they're being held accountable somewhat. So I'm really hoping that soon my channel will get the attention of the media, and then they really listen then. Because, right now, I'm just a small YouTuber. Listen too much. But I'm hoping that soon, once I get a little bigger, and people will start listening. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Like, we have the No Discrimination Act, but we still getting discriminated against. And no one's talking about it. Like, they're talking about the Black Lives. They're talking about the gay, lesbian community. But no one is talking about the disabled community. We have just as much right to not be discriminated against as anybody else. So why aren't our voices being heard? Why aren't nobody speaking up for us? And that's why I started this channel, because I wanted to be that voice to speak up, to give other disabled people to speak up, because it's time. It's the 21st century. There's no reason things should be inaccessible. We have so much technology now that it's no reason things should be inaccessible. Even the newest, I was watching the news the other day, and people are making those flying cars. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was on our news. And not one of them did I see a handicap accessible flying car. And I'm not saying I want a flying car, because I really don't. But the point of the matter is, why aren't they thinking about this while they're making it? while you are making it, make it accessible. Why wait till after the fact to make it accessible? Like, why are we always the afterthought? We shouldn't be the afterthought. You know, we we should be, because literally, if we're the afterthought, you're spending more money trying to make it accessible later than you are if you would just do it in the beginning. So why are we the afterthought? It makes no sense. Let's see. Yeah, and see, I live in Maryland, so I don't know exactly how the taxes work, because I never really dealt with taxes before. Yeah, see, even with small businesses, like, I understand, they might not be making as much as Walmart or whatever other big businesses out there, but I still don't think that it's right that they don't have to be accessible. Like, what if that was their mother? What if that was your daughter or your son? You would want them to come into your shop. So why is it that you don't want to make it accessible from the beginning? Like, people need to think, if this was my family member, how would I handle it? Because that's the only way you're going to get through to people. Because unfortunately, this world is not the caring world. Now most people just think about themselves, unfortunately. And it doesn't make it right, though. What I mean? They have influencers and stuff putting in, like, children's minds how everything's about me and me only. But it shouldn't be like that. There's a lot of people in the world. It's not just you. You're not the sun. The world doesn't revolve around you. So we need to start being caring and just getting back our humanity. And that's what it all is. It's humanity. We need to get back our humanity. I really said I wish I'd be in Hawaii. I really want to visit Hawaii. Yeah, see, the rain, I hate when it's snow. The rain I can kind of get through, but the snow, is no way I can get through the snow. Like, the snow, it gets your tires, and especially if it's ice, you be sliding everywhere. Like, it is crazy. Yeah, so it's really crazy on, like, the different, cause even here, they don't even, like, really not shovel the sidewalks, even the businesses. And I'm like, what? What I mean? It's like there's a sidewalk for a reason. So people don't have to walk in the street. So wheelchair people like me don't have to ride in the street. Because I have rode in the street before. Because people put stuff in the sidewalk and don't think anything of it. They'll put, trash cans, or they'll leave the snow on the sidewalk when they shovel the parking lots. But it's like, where are we supposed to go? That's how we stay safe from getting hit by a car or getting hit, by just a vehicle in general. How are we supposed to travel safely if you put stuff on the sidewalk? Hi, Desiree Capro. How are you? I'm just talking about disabilities and transportation and what I think they need to change. So that's what our discussion is about today. But yeah, Hawaii taxes are high, but that's because y'all are island. Like, y'all taxes are high because you have to get a lot of things shipped to y'all. So, I can understand why the taxes are high. I've never been to Minnesota, so I don't know how good that is. Okay, let me see. Hawaii. Yeah, see, and I think that's why nobody thinks about it because it's such a low number. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a low number. The point is, we're still people. We still have needs. We still have wants. We're still people. So it doesn't matter how low the number is, we still should be treated like a person. So I think, hopefully, this discussion will help people and educate people, and hopefully, I taught some things. Cause that's what I'm just trying to bring awareness and educate on, what we go through on a daily basis. And so yeah, that's why I thought this was an important discussion to have, because I want to, educate people on disabilities and try to make some lives better by my discussions. And, hopefully one day it does help. Maybe somebody will see it and they'll think about, how would I get a wheelchair in this bus or car or whatever it is. And from now on, hopefully. Because, yeah, not a lot of people think about it. And, and now that I'm like out of school and older and more independent, I think that it's really come to like the fruition for me, because it's a lot of things that I can't go because I don't have the transportation. And it's not like I could just call any cab company, because literally we have so many cab companies in our counties. I think it was like 20, but guess how many of them have wheelchair cabs? Anybody want to guess how many have wheelchair cabs? I'm gonna let that sink in a little bit. We have 20 cab companies, but guess how many have wheelchair cabs? I'll make sure I didn't miss somebody comment too while y'all thinking about that. No, it's not two roller slots. It's not two. Yeah, it's not two. I'll give it 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds, and then I'll tell you the answer. Oh, really? It's 30 million? No, it's not zero. Okay, so it is one cab company that has wheelchair vans. One out of all 20 in my county, and I think in the whole state of Maryland, it might be hundreds of cab companies, but only one in my area has the wheelchair vans. And they're the ones that literally left me that one time. So I don't call them because then they even like I asked them because without cab company, like I said, I had to call the day before. But I literally called 1 week in advance. A whole week. So there shouldn't have been no excuse on why they left me at the place I was at. It was no excuse. Because it's like if you get a week's notice, there's no excuse. Like, what can you say? They give you enough time because I gave you a whole week. And you said we only have to give you 24 hours. So it's no excuse. And like, the excuse that they did give me was that the meter broke. So they couldn't charge me or something. But I'm like, you took me down there. So just charge me the same price that you charged when you took me down there. Like, I'm going back home. It's the same distance. So it's no excuse. So yeah, that's why we just need better transportation services. It's bad over here. Yeah, we have medical camps, but they only take you to the doctors. That's all they take you to. And I already have a company to take me to doctors, so that doesn't really help me when I'm trying to go somewhere with my friends or my congregation or something. That doesn't really help me because they only take you to the doctor or something. Okay, now we don't have a county bus like that. Our buses will take you. We have like the regular county bus that stops at bus stops. And we also have what I was saying earlier, mobility. Mobility will take you anywhere in the city, in some places, in some counties. But with mobility, here's another problem. Mobility is a company that I take to the doctors. So with mobility, I still have to call the day before. And say, for example, my appointment is at 1 p.m. So if you tell mobility that your appointment is at 1 p.m., they'll pick you up at 12 p.m., just to make sure they get you there on time, which is no problem. But I usually tell them a half an hour before I actually have to be there. So if my appointment's at 1, I tell them 12:30. So they'll pick me up around 11:30. Now here's what happened though. So, 11:30, I'm waiting. No bus. 11:40, still waiting. No bus. It goes to 12. Still no bus. So by 12, I can call the company because you have to give them in half an hour before you can call them to see what happened. So I'll call them. Oh yeah, we're on our way. Yada yada yada, all that stuff. 12:30, still no bus. Call them again. Yeah, we're coming. I'm like, okay, but I said I had to be here at 12:30. Well, we're picking up other people, all that stuff. So 1 o'clock, still waiting for this bus. That day, the bus did not come till 2:30. 2:30. By that time, not only was I late for the doctor, but it's a good thing my doctor just don't charge me late fees because I would be suing them. I didn't even get to the doctor that day because they were that late. Didn't even get to the doctor. And that's not the first time they have done that to me. And I literally have wrote letters to not only the company, but the governor and the mayor. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. So this is why I'm just fed up in a way because I'm writing these letters. I'm telling you what's going on and you're not doing anything. Like, I literally got so irritated with that. Usually, I try to be a nice person. Y'all know I try to spread the love. That day I was having such a bad day. I told the driver, I was like, oh, I wish I didn't have to take mobility. Can y'all get on my nerves? I was waiting here for 2 hours. 2 hours. And you know what the driver said to me? She was like, well, why don't you call Uber? And you don't have to take mobility. I told that driver, first of all, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a job. So, you better be glad I'm taking mobility. Because if it wasn't for the fact they the only ones that have the stupid wheelchair vans, I wouldn't be taking no mobility and you wouldn't have no job. So don't tell me what I should or should not do. Like, you better be glad that I'm taking it. I feel like they should be paying me to take it. And they that horrible in service. Then when you call customer service, all you get is a machine. Well, leave a message with your name and client ID number and we'll get back to you. They never get back to you. I have literally called so many, I called to complain about different things. Like, first of all, I had a driver, try to fill me out. Yeah, I had another driver that threw my stuff on the floor. Like, she literally threw it on the floor. And I'm like, I called customer service. All they do is give you that stupid little voice message. Leave me a message with your name, phone number, client ID number. I ain't never heard back from him yet. And that was about 2 years ago. And I have called back and all that. Never got any type of answer or whatever. So that's why it just kind of like I'm just at the point where I'm annoyed and I don't want to, deal with other people and all that stuff. Because it really is annoying to try to help people and try to get try to tell them what's going on and with their service, but they're not willing to get the help that they need to get. But yeah, so that is my spill for the day. And hopefully everybody has, learned something new or whatever. And I am going to end this live because someone else is having a live that I want to be in. So I hope that everybody has learned something, everybody took it to heart. And I will see y'all in my next live. I hope, everyone is staying safe and all that. But I will see you on the next live, which is next Friday. And next Friday, I will be doing a 40 question thing. So if you want to ask a question or whatever, that's the time to do it. Get to know me better and all that. So I will see y'all next time. Well, I'm glad at work. So yeah, I will see y'all next time. Have a good day and a good night, everybody.